Simon Thomas has revealed his newborn daughter will not be coming home for about 5 to 6 weeks after being born 8 weeks early. The presenter, 49, took to Instagram on Wednesday to confirm that his wife Darina, 31, had given birth to a baby girl after falling rapidly ill from preeclampsia. It comes 5 years after Simon lost his first wife Gemma to blood cancer in 2017, 3 days after she was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. Speaking on the Jeremy Vine Show on Thursday, Simon explained that Darina had had to have an emergency C-section and that his daughter was just 3.4 pounds. He said, "We weren't due till the end of November and then Darina was feeling quite poorly over the weekend. On Monday night we thought we ought to go into hospital, and she got diagnosed in the morning with preeclampsia, which anyone watching who knows about this, can be really dangerous. So suddenly on Tuesday afternoon, having thought we had 8 weeks to get ready, buy all the stuff and generally get ready for a new baby, she had an emergency C-section, so we've got a very tiny 3.4 baby." He reflected, "There was such a range of emotions, from fear on Tuesday, obviously hugely worried that Darina was going to be okay and that the baby was going to be okay, to suddenly having new life in your hands." Discussing the reaction of his eldest child, Ethan, 13, he said, "Has always wanted a brother or sister, and my first wife Gemma, because of fertility issues, we couldn't have any more children. So this has always been a sadness for him and for me as well, that we never got see him beside a sibling. And although he's going to be quite a bit older, he's just so full of joy. He just said to me this morning, 'Dad, can we go see my little sister?' It's weird for him, because it's not normal as in she's not going to be coming home for about 5 to 6 weeks. Jeremy asked if the couple had picked a name, but Simon explained, "We had a list of things to do over the next 8 weeks, we have a pram and nothing else. We have got our list of names, we're very very close." Simon announced the birth of his daughter on Wednesday, by sharing an array of photographs of the baby and Darina smiling as she lay in her hospital bed after the difficult labor. Darina is a church minister's daughter currently working in the legal industry. One photograph showed Ethan meeting his younger sister for the first time as she lay in an incubator. In a lengthy caption, Simon said he felt proud and blessed to welcome his baby daughter after the fear-filled and stressful labor on Tuesday. But Simon admitted that the family still have a long road ahead and would be in hospital for the next few weeks. He penned, "Not everything in life goes quite according to plan. One moment we think we've got 8 weeks until our little one arrives, the next, after Darina fell rapidly ill, we're suddenly welcoming into the world a very tiny, but hugely precious baby girl weighing just over 3 pounds. The neonatal team at Stoke Mandeville Hospital were simply incredible and held our hands physically and in spirit the whole way through a very fear-filled and stressful day yesterday. I cannot express how proud and blessed I feel right now. I have a beautiful, brave wife in Darina, a precious son and now a tiny, wonderful daughter and sister for our boy Ethan. We have a long road ahead of being in hospital for the next few weeks, but we have the best team around us. Thank you Stoke Mandeville and thank you NHS for being there for us and thank you God for blessing us as a family so much." Simon only announced he and Darina were expecting their first child together in an Instagram post last month. He made the happy announcement that he would be expanding his family as he shared a snap of Darina's ultrasound scan. Simon penned, 14 months ago today, at Sabrin and at Britney siblings sang this beautiful song of blessing over us. There's another little blessing on its way! Alongside, he shared a video with clips from their wedding day before their hands slowly revealed the scan. He also shared a heartwarming collage of photos from his life with Darina, along with a snap of the couple smiling with his son Ethan, 12, who he shared with Gemma. Fellow TV presenters Dan Walker, Vernon Kay and Jenny Falconer congratulated him on his news. Simon's late wife Gemma Thomas tragically died in November 2017, a year after she was sent home for bed rest by her GP after visiting 3 times with flu-like symptoms. 2 years after Gemma's death, Simon found love with Darina and they wed in a ceremony at Norwich Cathedral in July 2021. The former Blue Peter star shared a snap of himself looking elated on his wedding day as he walked his elegant bride down the aisle before an applauding congregation of well-wishers. Captioning the heartwarming image, the Norfolk-born father of 1, who lost his first wife Gemma to leukemia at the end of 2017, simply wrote, "Love." Wins. The happy couple's big day was attended by a host of Simon's TV presenter pals, including several former Blue Peter and CBBC presenters. Simon frequently talks candidly about his late wife's tragic death and recently said his new wife Darina struggles with guilt in the lead-up to anniversaries of Gemma's death. Appearing on Kate Ferdinand's Blended podcast, he said that he views anniversaries of his first wife's passing as simply a marker in time. But Darina feels the family should do more to celebrate her life for the sake of Ethan, who Simon shares with Gemma. Simon said, "I think sometimes you struggle a little bit with guilt, in particular around anniversaries. I'm very comfortable with anniversaries as in I don't overthink them. I think the first year when you go through loss, those firsts are massive and every first is a hurdle to get over, but with time it becomes easier. I'm not one who, any anniversary wants to do anything particularly significant. They're just, for me, markers in time." But from Ethan's point of view so would you like to do something? Simon explained that while Darina is often keen to mark the anniversary, Ethan often prefers a low-key day, perhaps sending a balloon with a little message rather than a large event. "I think sometimes she feels we should be doing more because of that guilt you feel, that maybe we're not doing enough, and I try to reassure Darina and say it's fine." Darina opened up about taking on her husband's grief, insisting that she was more emotional than Simon and Ethan at Gemma's last 2 anniversaries, despite never having met her. "You just feel this real guilt and I definitely feel that especially the last 2 anniversaries, I have been probably more emotional than you two, Simon and Ethan," she said. "It's silly because I didn't know Gemma, but you take on what everyone else is feeling in the wider circle. I guess Terry's a bit of sensitivity, but it's also that empath just thinking, this is horrendous. I definitely take on other people's sadness and loss and I definitely get emotional." She became emotional as she opened up about comparing herself to Gemma, admitting that the little voice in her head often tells her that Gemma would have done it better. "As a woman you're so aware of how things were and nobody has ever said Mummy would have done it like that, or Gemma would have done it like that, no one has ever said that. But in your head, that little thing on your shoulder will say, she would have done it better, made a birthday really good or Christmas really good and you're so aware of that when you're in that situation. Marking her birthday in May 2020, the TV personality thanked then-girlfriend Darina for making him happier than he dared to believe he could be again. Sharing a black and white snap of Darina, Simon said he was head over heels in love, and said that his and his son's life had been blessed by Darina, who he started dating in 2018 after reportedly meeting her through a church group. Sharing the picture to his Instagram account, he wrote, "A very happy birthday to this very, very special lady. I can't begin to express how much this lady has changed my life. She's loved me when I was hard to love, stuck with me when I've messed up, walked beside me when there were easier paths to tread, and made me happier than I ever dared to believe I could be again." He added, "Sometimes people don't always see this. They say things like it's good that she's able to keep the boys company or be there to look after them. But Darina isn't some kind of carer, she's the woman I have fallen head over heels in love with. My life and my boy's life has been massively blessed by her, and she deserves all the love in the world because she's a total one-off. Happy birthday at Darina 4X, I know she's not a fan of PDAs." Simon and Gemma tied the knot in 2005 and were married for 12 years before Gemma suddenly passed away 3 days after she was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. Speaking to BBC Radio 5 Live in November 2018, the ex-sports presenter addressed his new relationship for the first time, though he kept Darina's identity anonymous at the time, and said it has been an incredible support for him. The father of one admitted he could be falling in love, but said Gemma could never be replaced, saying, "I'm very aware she was someone I didn't know before and have got to know over the last few weeks and months. Right from the early stages, she had a sympathy towards me. She's Christian as well, and that's important to me as a man of faith. She's been an incredible support for me. She was the only person who would always pick up the phone. What I saw in her, I saw in Gemma. When she said my phone is always on, she meant it." The former Blue Peter presenter, who has described himself as a man of faith, reportedly met Darina through his church.